Imagine your roof disappears tonight. No bedroom, no bed, no walls, no locked door, no heater, no bathroom. Now go further. Take away the entire idea of a house. The concept itself doesn't exist yet. So, where does a human being sleep? That's not a hypothetical. For most of human history, that was simply life. Right now, you're inside walls built by someone else, heated by a system you didn't invent, locked by a door you can trust. Strip that away and go back. Not a few hundred years, hundreds of thousands of years. No cities, no walls, no fixed address. Just open land, changing weather, and a body with no fur thick enough to survive the night alone.
There's a popular image, the caveman, huddled in a dark cave forever. But the real picture is messier and more impressive. Caves and rock shelters were used when they were available. They blocked wind and rain and offered natural walls. Archaeologists have found ash, tools, and animal bones inside caves used by both Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens. But caves weren't everywhere, and not everyone stayed in one. Many groups lived in open-air camps, sites out in the landscape with no natural walls at all. And here's the surprise. Some of the oldest evidence we have for deliberately built shelters doesn't come from a cave. It comes from open ground. At a site called Terra Amata on the coast of France, archaeologists uncovered traces interpreted by some researchers as oval-shaped shelter structures, arrangements of post holes and stones dating to roughly 400,000 years ago. Not every scientist agrees on exactly what those traces mean, but the possibility alone is striking. Shelter building this old? There was no single prehistoric lifestyle. There were countless ones, shaped by climate, terrain, available materials, and what kind of danger was nearby.
So picture the night. No walls, no lock. What kept you alive? Fire. Fire wasn't just warmth, it was a boundary, a wall made of light instead of stone. Most large predators avoid open flame, so a fire at the edge of a camp turned open, exposed ground into something closer to a safe room. Archaeologists have found ash and burned bone in cave layers going back hundreds of thousands of years, evidence that fire was being controlled and reused, not just encountered by accident. Beyond fire, there was the group itself. Sleeping in numbers meant more eyes, more ears, more warning. Location mattered enormously. Near water, but not too close to a predator's path. Near food, but sheltered from wind. And some groups didn't stay still at all. They moved with the seasons, following animals and edible plants, carrying only what they could build again wherever they stopped. Survival wasn't about walls. It was about reading the land correctly every single night. Here's the part that surprises most people. Humans did not wake up one day and invent the house. There was no single moment. It was a slow drift. Some groups built temporary shelters from branches and brush, used for days or weeks, then abandoned. In Israel, at a site called Ohalo II, archaeologists found the remains of brush huts, roughly 23,000 years old, among the oldest dwellings ever preserved, because they were unusually protected by mud and water. Elsewhere, in what is now Ukraine, groups built structures out of mammoth bones, likely covered with hides, a shelter made from the skeleton of the very animal that fed them. Some places were returned to again and again, season after season, until the place we come back to started to mean something.
Only much later, as farming spread and people stopped moving to follow food, did truly permanent settlements, Villages, then towns, then cities become common. The house, as something fixed and lasting, is a surprisingly recent idea in the story of our species. So what actually makes a place home? Is it the walls? Early humans had none for most of history. Is it the roof? Sometimes there wasn't one. Is it the objects inside? Or is it something else? The fire at the center, the people around it, the place worth returning to. Long before there were houses, there was still home. It just looked different. For most of the time humans have existed, there was no house waiting for us at the end of the day. And yet, somehow, people still built warmth, still built safety, still built a place to come back to. Tonight, when you close your door, you're standing inside the exception, not the rule.